address people. When I finish, I sing. When I finish here, I'm going to address people outside. I'm going to sing, and all of that. So, from 2016 until now, I would have sang in a lot of places and in a lot of events. And to say to me, I must capture the mood of what was happening at Newcastle on the 7th of November 2016 is impossible.
I'm not asking you to capture the mood.
You asked me what was the mood. You asked me when you were singing this, what message did you want to deliver? What was the mood? I wouldn't know, because this, if you put the speech, then you put the occasion, then you put the whole singing, I will tell you what was happening here.
Ulibhunu in Xhosa or Zulu is a highly controversial South African anti-apartheid song with a complex history and contested interpretations. Here's an explanation of what it entails and the different perspectives surrounding it. Origins and historical context. The song emerged during the struggle against apartheid in South Africa in the 1980s and 1990s. Boer is an Afrikaans word for farmer, but in the context of the anti-apartheid struggle, it was often understood to refer to Afrikaners, who were the dominant white group enforcing apartheid. The chant was used by various anti-apartheid groups, including the African National Congress, ANC, and the Pan-Africanist Congress, PAC, as a protest against the white minority rule. Supporters of the song argue that it was a symbolic act of resistance against the oppressive apartheid system, and not a literal call for violence against individuals. They see it as a historical song that reflects the pain and trauma of black South Africans under apartheid. Controversy and interpretations in post-apartheid South Africa. Despite the end of apartheid in 1994, the chant has gained new prominence since 2010, largely due to its use by political figures like Julius Malema, leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters (EFF) party, and at times, former President Jacob Zuma. Opponents of the song argue that it constitutes hate speech and incites violence against white South Africans, particularly white farmers. They point to the literal translation and the context of ongoing farm attacks in South Africa, which some associate with the chant. Figures like Elon Musk and some US politicians have amplified these concerns, alleging a white genocide in South Africa, though South African courts and researchers have dismissed these claims. Supporters, including Malema and many anti-apartheid veterans, maintain that the lyrics are not an incitement to violence, but rather a symbolic expression of the ongoing struggle against historical injustices and socio-economic inequalities that persist in South Africa. They argue that Boer symbolizes the broader concept of the oppressor, or the institutional structures of apartheid, not individual white people. Malema himself has stated that the song is the heritage of our struggle, and he will continue to sing it. Legal rulings. South African courts have had conflicting rulings on whether the song constitutes hate speech. While some initial rulings categorized it as such, more recent judgments have determined that it does not, provided it is understood within its historical and political context as a symbolic act of resistance, rather than a literal incitement to violence. The Johannesburg High Court, for example, ruled that there was no established causal link between the song and violence, and that the reference to Boer did not literally refer to all white or Afrikaans people. US perspective and propaganda. The chant has drawn significant attention in the United States, particularly from some conservative politicians and media figures who have used it to support claims of a white genocide in South Africa. Donald Trump, for instance, has played videos of Malema chanting the song and alleged persecution against white South Africans. Critics of this perspective argue that these claims are often exaggerated, disingenuous, and serve a political agenda to create a narrative of racial conflict. They view the amplification of the chant by some in the US as a form of propaganda that misrepresents the complex realities of South Africa and the historical context of the song. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and others have pushed back against these claims, emphasizing that while crime rates are high in South Africa, most victims are black, and there is no evidence of a systematic white genocide. In essence, the Kill the Boer chant is a powerful symbol in South Africa, deeply rooted in its history of racial oppression and liberation. Its meaning remains hotly debated, with interpretations ranging from a symbolic act of resistance to a literal call for violence, and its use often highlights the country's unresolved historical pain and ongoing social inequalities. The way it's portrayed internationally, particularly in the US, often reflects different political agendas and interpretations of the complexities of South African society.
And all of that. That's a song. A chant, you will never know what's going to follow. it depends on that person who's leading the chant. So he can change as in when he deems fit, and they normally use the chants to describe a particular epoch of struggle. So the chants or the lyrics that were used in the chants in the 80s may not be the similar lyrics that are used today in 2022. But the song that was sang in the 80s can still be the same song sang today without anything changes. I sang a song earlier this morning. Even if you like, you can't change it. It's like that. You either decide to sing it or you leave it at all. Otherwise, it's a distortion.
So let me ask you this little question. That video has multiple occasions to which you're on a stage.
Yes.
And at the end it has footage of a crowd. So let me ask you, when you're on the stage, are you singing a song or saying a chant?
I'm chanting.
You're chanting. Okay. And so what are you chanting?
Struggle song.
You're chanting a song.
Yeah. No, a struggle song.
I see. So you're not singing the song, you're chanting.
Yes.
What is that struggle song?
They don't have names.
Okay, so it's an name.
Yeah, you can't say Maria Carey, my love. They don't work like that.
So it's an unnamed chant.
They will call them, all of them, struggle songs. But amongst the struggle songs, you find chants.
Alright, so how would you identify that chant?
But you find it the way I described it earlier. You see, where a leader leads, and then the ones who follow with one or two chants. So if I say shoot to kill, they say hi. Nyamaza, hi. So what doesn't change is this chanting of those who back up the song. But I can change as in when I feel like.
Yes. But the changes, I've shown you chanting that on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
Is it the same throughout?
No, they're not.
What are the differences?
No, you start from where you want. You didn't start. So before I even arrive there, my Lord, I sing a song first before I do the chanting. So that is not a complete video. I sing a song normally. I can sing any different song, but normally I sing a song. Normalize to Wulasia, even if they shoot us, we're going. So I sing that song, and then at the end of that song, I start chanting.
And the words that you are chanting, let's focus on that. What are the words?
Address people. When I finish, I sing. When I finish here, I'm going to address people outside. I'm going to sing, and all of that. So from 2016 until now, I would have sang in a lot of places and in a lot of events. And to say to me, I must capture the mood of what was happening at Newcastle on the 7th of November 2016, it's impossible.
I'm not asking you to capture the mood.
You asked me what was the mood. You asked me when you were singing this, what message did you want to deliver? What was the mood? I wouldn't know, because this, if you put the speech, then you put the occasion, then you put the whole singing, I will tell you what was happening here. But for you to just come with a piece of a video and say, on the basis of singing, I must remember what was happening here, what was going through my mind here. No speech, no full video, no context, no anyone who spoke before me. I must hear who said what before I spoke, what if I was responding to that person, all those type of things. They cannot be dealt with through a piecemeal.
So then you ask for a very bizarre thing.
Yeah.
In other words, this is a chant, which you say you've been chanting on a regular basis.
Yes.
And you're saying it cannot be understood without hours and hours and hours of footage of all the other speakers knowing what the mood is on the day. I would say any reasonable person can listen to what they're saying and they can understand what it means based on that. You don't need hours and hours of prior speeches of knowing what other songs were sung. The question is, what does this song mean to those that are listening to it? And what I want to do is I want to play this for you, and I want you to tell me what it is that you're saying, because it sounds like you're really struggling to remember what you were saying. I've asked you.
No, I'm not really struggling to remember what I was saying. I'm not even trying to remember 2016. I'm not trying to do that, and I won't do it.
Well, let me play the video
Because
you can tell.
there are so many times I've sang this song as to why particular at 2016, way back there. There's no way I can help you with
I'm
that.
not asking for your motivations for why you're singing the song.
Huh?
I'm not asking for your motivations for why you're singing the song. I'm asking what it is you were singing the song.
Oh,
I'll play it for you, and you can respond.
okay. Let's go.
Shoot the king! Shoot the king! Kill him! Kiss the head! The woman! Kiss the head!
To achieve, I will see.
So in those videos,
So this one I sang for you, this is how that I start. Then from there, I start borrowing whatever I want to deliver to the people.
okay, so what did you deliver to the people in the video I just showed?
I don't know where was that. I hear him saying it was Newcastle. I don't know. From here, I can't know where I am.
One of them showed your fourth birthday party.
Absolutely, I wouldn't even see a birthday there. They all look the same. It's like it was political gathering somewhere. So I wouldn't know. So if you take me to a particular occasion, then I will know this is where we were, this was the situation, and then this is what happened.
Let's re-show it to them. So,
Yeah.
and we can see the label, and we'll pause at the end of each one.
Sure.
Scott.